Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Behind Closed Door with Mamaliez. It's about sharing of inspiring stories with unconditional love and respect. So, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight, I invited a very special young lady, and I'm really, really, truly amazed by her. Before I will tell you more about her, I'm just going to share with you what we're going to have tomorrow. What's next tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm going to interview Dr. Nina Hafiz. We're going to talk about mental health, or I got the wrong banner here. But basically, tomorrow is about how mental health is linked to mental illnesses. Yeah. So please join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. And you will learn a lot of knowledge about this, about how are we linked to, how mental health can be linked to mental illness. Okay, and so tonight I'm going to share with you the special guest joining us tonight is Miss Shahirah Salem. She is a software engineer. She's a gold award recipient for the 2020 brand advocate program. She's a content creator. She's also a personal branding strategist and a LinkedIn influencer. And today she's going to share how this small town girl at 24 years old became an entrepreneur, LinkedIn influencer, taught and helped graduates find job during pandemic. Yeah, she done such amazing job. Such a 24 years, only at 24 years old, and she's achieved so much already. So let's invite Miss Ayu Shahira. Hi. Hi, Ayu.
Hi.
How are you
Assalamualaikum.
doing? Wassalam. Apa khabar? Thank you so
Good,
much.
good.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Huh?
How are you? How
Uh,
are you?
good, good. Can you please, before we go ahead, maybe you just have a short introduction of yourself?
Hi everyone. Thanks for
Mm.
joining us today. My name is Ayu Shahirah Salim. So everyone call me Ayu. So I am a software engineer under digital graduate right now. So I graduated from University Technology Petronas on May 2020. So currently I kind of like as a fresh graduate because I just work around not less than 1 year. So
Mm.
hopefully I can share a little bit about my life today so that everyone can learn from it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ayu. So, Ayu, what amazed me how I knew about you because I saw your post, yeah. Your post every time I see when you're sharing, right? Every of your sharings, there'll be like hundreds of likes and hundreds of comments, And I think even those other LinkedIn influencers who says they are also like doing even LinkedIn the courses and all that would not have that kind of response from people in LinkedIn. So that's how amazed I am with you, and I really was so curious about you, and that's why I wanted to invite you to come with us and share how you're able to be such an authentic person online in LinkedIn. Yeah, maybe you can share with us how was your childhood like? Where were you raised, and how was your father? How was your mom? Tell us a bit about your childhood.
Okay, so my childhood itself is quite interesting if compared to the normal child in Malaysia, I think. So basically, even though I'm currently based in KL, but actually I came from a small town in Miri, Sarawak. Not really small town. It's I think it's almost the same size like KL as well. So
Mm,
the name of the city is Miri. So Miri was the first place where we found oil in Malaysia actually. So yeah, that's why
right.
we call the city itself an oil city. Yeah. So I got up there with with my mom, with my father, and then when I was 16 years old, my both of my parents they were divorced, and then my mom get married again. So I stay with my mom
Mm,
until I grew up. Yeah. Yeah, but then
oh.
now I'm just alone in KL. Both of my parents they all live in Sarawak. Yeah.
So do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I do have siblings. I have one biological sister that is currently studying business information system in UTP, same
Mm.
university as me as well. And then the other two is studying in madrasah, so they memorize Quran and all. And
Wow.
then yeah, that one is my step sibling. And then I
Mm.
have another sister that work in Kuching, and then another one is my younger sister in yeah with my mom right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So before I want to ask you further question, anyone out there, just let us know where are you tuning in from? Are you in Malaysia, outside Malaysia? Let us know. Where are you tuning from? Just say hello to us so that we know you're watching, okay? And so that we can say hello to you. If you have any questions to Ayu at any time, just let us know. Just put it on the comment and let us know. So Ayu, when you were young, right? Let us. I mean, what are the things that you learned from your dad? What are the values that you learned from your dad or for your mom? What are the things that you learned from your dad that you take up to today? Maybe you can share with us what values did you learn? What are the things that you learned, even for, about yourself? Yeah.
I think since I have two dads, so maybe I can share both of them. So I
Yeah.
think for my real father, he's quite good in networking. Yeah, he's
Mm,
very good when it comes to business and all. And yeah, he knows a lot of like kind of powerful person in Sarawak. So that's why he can
mm,
do quite a lot of business before. Um, for
mm,
my for my stepfather, he's very good in work, in becoming an employee, even though he didn't have a degree. Three of all of my parents, they don't have degree, but they can prove themselves. Even though they don't have degree, they're coming from Sarawak. They still manage to give us a very comfortable life. And also, like for my stepfather, he even become one of the first captain that is
mm,
specialized in dynamic positioning for oil and gas shipping. So it was quite amazing. And then for
right.
my yeah, from my mom itself, I think of course the entrepreneurship talent that she has is amazing. She can sell anything only through WhatsApp. Yeah. So I think maybe my marketing skills, some of them I learned from her, most of them. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us, like, okay, before we go on, I just want to say hello to Abhilash, Paho, thank you for watching us. And we have also Tavi. She's saying, "Hi, are you LinkedIn Queen?" She's saying, "Yes, you are the LinkedIn Queen and
Hello,
Princess."
Devi.
So yeah, so yeah, because I remember you were mentioning to me about during your childhood, during your school time. How was it like during your school time? What did you do during your school time that make you become such a you have entrepreneurial spirit like this?
Okay, so during my kindergarten, I would say I'm quite quiet because I don't really some most of my friend they don't really talk the Semenanjung Malay, we call it, like kenapa awak macam tu, something like that, because we speak Sarawak
Mm,
Malay right
right,
there.
right.
So since my mom was a teacher before,
Mm,
she taught students in army camp. So that's why
right.
most of the army, their background was from West Malaysia. So
Right.
I learned Semenanjung Malay first rather than
Mm,
Sarawak Malay. That's why if you hear me talking, I don't really have the Sarawak accent. Yeah. So
mm,
during that time, most of my friends they talk bahasa Sarawak, right? So I don't really know
ah,
how to speak it. So that's why I only
right.
have one friend that time, and most of my friend they are not really Malay. I friend with all those Iban, Kadazan, Kayan, because
Ah.
they speak bahasa baku. So I can understand. If they speak bahasa Sarawak, I cannot understand. So I
What do
don't.
you mean like bahasa Sarawak?
So
There is
yeah,
not
it's
Malay.
different. No, it's different. So for example, let's say, jom makan, jom kita makan, kita mau pergi sini. That is bahasa Sarawak. Yeah. So that is
Oh,
basically if you go to Sarawak, people, it's like bahasa Kelantan. They do have their own
oh,
bahasa,
this,
right?
Oh, you the slang.
Ah,
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
Okay,
So
got it.
basically, bahasa Sarawak is very different from bahasa Semenanjung, right? So that's why
Mm,
I kind of have like difficulty to get a friend when I was in the kindergarten. Yeah. Yep. And
okay.
then when I was in my primary school, I started
Mm-hmm.
to have more friends because I know I eventually learned how to speak Sarawak, and after that, yeah, that's where I learned more about how to communicate with people and all, and
Mm,
also my mom always encouraged me and also always push me to be the best out
mm.
of the best. So let's say,
Wow.
yeah, my mom is very strict, very very strict. So let's say
Right,
if lah the it's the typical Asian mom. Let's say if you
right.
get B, you're gonna yeah, they will beat you using the stick.
Tiger, tiger mom, huh? Tiger mom. Okay,
Tiger mom.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, and then from there, you went, when in the primary school, what happened?
Okay, so during my primary school, I entered yeah, Islamic school actually. So that's
Mm,
when I think I learned quite a lot of like knowledge about Islam. For example, I memorized some of the Quran surah
mm,
um, when I was primary one. At
right.
that time, I think 7 years old. I already memorized like Yasin, Juz Amma, the last juzu in the Quran. I already memorized. So I think
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, because my mom, she always believed that if the kids have the religion, usually they will be a bit scared to do sin. Like for example, lying,
Yeah.
doing like that.
Yes.
So I think that's the reason why I limit myself to always do something good, and also
Mm,
my mom always keep my circle a high quality one, meaning to say after school I will go to tuition class, and after that most of the person in the tuition also kind of top student as well, right? So that's I think from there I learn to keep on becoming the best of the best and become very competitive. And fun fact actually, the one that also quite usually I will get number one, first place and also second place during my primary school, right? But then
mm.
the one that usually will beat me is my own jiran, my own neighbor.
Oh.
So my mom always say, "Why you kalah with your jiran? Why you so weak?" Yeah,
Wow.
it's so drama one.
So you make sure that
Uh,
you get a good grades, you have good circle of people around you.
yeah,
So you
and
say, mm. So this is
what's
my
her?
son. Sorry, my son is supposed to
Oh,
go sleep already. Hey, say good night.
hello.
Okay, okay. Alright, bye sayang. Later, okay. Another 45 minutes. Okay, you wait outside. Okay, okay. I thought you. Sorry, I'm doing this. Okay, I see you later. Okay, okay. Then you wait there. Sorry, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry, everybody. Yeah, my kids are coming in. So yeah, so that means you have your mom, make sure you have a good foundation. Yeah, so
Yeah,
to that's how you started, by having a good foundation, right? So and
yeah.
then what happened next? Because I remember another story that you told me about when uh what are what the things qualities that you learned from your mother when during that time. What did she
Okay.
teach you? Yeah.
So like the normal kids, their parents gonna give them like pocket money, right? Like that only. So for my mom, she will not give us like pocket money like that only. So in order for you to gain money, you need to work. For example, do something, maybe clean the house or maybe do something for her, something like that. So basically, um that's where I need to, like, for example, if let's say if I want to buy something, I need to do something in order to get that. For example, maybe my mom said that, okay, if you, Mama, I want an iPod, for example, right? Then okay, you
Right,
can get iPod, but then you need to become the first one in the class and get 90 for every single subject. Something like that. It's like, okay. But usually because I really want that, because I'm used to become very competitive, that's why
right.
most of the prize I managed to get it.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So every time she set a goal for you, that is, okay, you want that, I won't simply give you, but you work hard for it and make sure you achieve it, right?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do really want to hear about the story that how you help your mom also.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah, maybe you can share about that story with us too.
Oh, okay.
When
So mhm.
the when she was being a teacher, your mom was actually have an entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my grandmother, she's really obsessed with compensation, and also retirement plan from government.
Right.
So every time, my mom, my auntie, and also most of my cousin, when we talk to our grandma, she will always remind us, oh, work with the government so that later when you old, you can get the retirement plan, and also you don't have to think about your financial lah, when you are old, when you are old later. So
Right.
that's why my nene asked my mom to become a teacher, even though she doesn't want. And
Mm,
end up actually, my mom doesn't want to do those all those teacher tasks. What
right.
she did is she did all her business stuff, and while all the things for the school material will be done by me and my sister. For example, like the tests, and also what we call that, the learning plan and all. So that's how I managed to study in a syllabus more advanced than some of my friends that have same age with me. So let's say if the exam itself, yeah, I help my mom. My mom teach primary six student before.
Yeah.
I think for 12 years old, right? So
Yeah.
basically, I need to prepare tests for primary six student while I was primary three. So just imagine how far the gap is, right? So yeah, the pros would be I learn very fast. I already cover primary six syllabus 3 years in advance, if compared to my friends. But then the
Mm,
cons itself, of course, you need to study hard in order to understand primary six when you are just when you was just what we call that, primary three, right? Yeah.
right.
So yeah, but I
Primary
do
three
learn.
is yeah, primary three is 9 years old for those who don't know,
uh,
not in Malaysia, and primary six is 12 years old. And your how old was your sister?
My sister is 2 years younger than me. Yeah. So we
So
we
both
work
of
together.
you. That means she was seven,
Yeah.
7 and 9-year-old kids
Yeah. So
doing
basically, yeah, all
oh,
those learning plan and all. So that I think the good thing about it is that we know the system of our education, from the ranking, from the test, how the teacher do it, and of course the learning plan itself. For example, of course, when it in the beginning of the syllabus, we cannot just simply put all those hard, what we call that, hard topic, right? Of course, we need
right,
to start by introduction first, and then like Assalamualaikum tinggi lah, something like that. And then after that, eventually, it will come to a harder topic, and then we can go for like a case study, what we call it, case study topic. For example, maybe at first we want to teach them about addition and subtraction, right? Maybe something like that. Then after that, maybe we want to teach them a little bit harder, maybe multiplication and also division. And then after we settle the introduction, then we go for the like the case study. For example, or how many apple this person have and all, something like that. Yeah.
so at seven, your sister was seven and you were nine, and both of you were doing this planning learning. for
Yeah.
a 12 years old kid.
Yes.
Uh,
And we nail it.
that's just amazing. And don't tell me you also did markings of exams or
Yeah,
whatever. Huh?
marking exam as well.
Marking exam as well. Now, in the audience, if you guys think this is amazing experience, just say yes. And it's this girl is at seven. What were you guys doing at 7 years old and 9 years old? Can you just share in the comment? What were you guys doing at 7 years old and 9 years old? Are you marking papers for 12 years old? And this lady, there's two sisters here doing marking papers for 12 years old kids. So by the time you are 12, you're already advanced.
Yeah, I'm very advanced. It's like, so basically usually like yeah, it's very easy for me to get 95 like that, because when you mark other people's paper, right? You
Yeah.
you repeat the question every time you mark different person's paper, right? So
Mm.
the things that you read and the things that you mark already stick in your head. So let's say in the future, if you get that question again, it will be easier for you. Yeah, something like that. It's like soalan bocor already.
So then what happens after your primary school? Then where did you go for your high school?
So I went for a boarding school, which is SM Science Miri. So I
Mm,
think I had a challenge that time during my secondary school, because when I was in primary, I never do all those what we call that house tasks, like something like sweeping, mopping, washing
right,
those,
right,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have my mom had a maid, right? And also my mom
Mm.
also was a what we call that domestic helper agent, something like that. So my mom just asked us to study hard and then do her work instead. So that's why when I joined SBP, the boarding school, I had a challenge to be independent. I never wash my own clothes. I never wash my own shoes and all, right?
Oh,
So I still remember during that time, I cried near the door, and my senior asked me, "Are you? Why you cry?" I don't know
oh.
how to sweep the floor.
Oh,
Yeah, and
so
it took me like 2 hours to just wash like three to four clothes, because I don't really know how to do it. But then,
right,
because I feel like this is a very important thing to learn in order for you to survive in this world, right? So
right.
I keep on practice, and also try to involve in residential college leadership. So I
Mm.
became um, the dorm lead when I was form 4, so which was
16 years
16 years
old.
old. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? My dorm won the best dorm in Malaysia that time. Yeah.
What do you mean? You guys compete on what? The
Yeah,
cleanliness?
compete among all the SBP in Malaysia. So we won to
Oh,
we won the first place, because because our warden is very strict. So it is very the dorm is very very clean. And let's say, if for example, if you have rubber band under your
oh,
bed, you need to go back to your room to just pick the rubber band until that extent. And then we also measured the tightness of your bed sheet using coin. Let's say if the coin doesn't bounce back, it means that it's not tight enough. So that person need to go back to the dorm and and redo their bed again.
oh my God.
It's
I,
very strict.
I was in the Tunku Kusha College boarding school. And during my time, we
Mm.
don't have what you call it, the best boarding dorm,
Ah,
the dorm. No, we don't have
yeah,
that kind of competition.
condition, right? Mm.
But now you guys have. Wow, that's really amazing. So
Yeah.
okay, so you was mentioning before that your parents went through a divorce at that
Mm.
time at 16 years old. Did it affect you in any way? Did what went through with you?
Okay.
How did you?
So I still remember. My mom suddenly went to me. I know that they have problem, because during that time, our business is not was not doing well as well, right? So my mom went to my school and bring the whole class. I mean, the whole class or the whole batch KFC actually, because that was my birthday. And then after
Ah,
that, my mom said to me, "Ayu, I need to meet. I need to talk to you after your birthday." So that
mm,
was when she said to me that, yeah, my mom and my dad will be divorced after
mm,
that. So
mm.
since then, I never meet my dad anymore until last 2 years, because my dad went for heart transplant in IJN. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
mm.
So you didn't meet your dad at that time. Did you go through any kind of challenges in terms of handling your emotions at that time? How was it for you?
Yeah, it was the darkest moment of my life actually, because yeah, of course, when you in my generation, we need to, after PMR, right, we
Mm,
change the syllabus. It will be very hard because you just change it and make it more specific. For example, if you want to go for pure science, then you need to start from from scratch, right? You don't
right.
have, like, for example, biology, at
Mm,
maths.
mm,
It's very hard. And at the same time, I need to cope with my family problem as well, because my
right.
mom, she only have two children, two daughters, right? And both of the daughters were in boarding school, so she's alone in
Mm,
the house. So just imagine how sad she is
right.
during that time. So that was when my mom suddenly become quite, how to say, she always get angry easily, something like that.
Right.
So, but I
Right.
do understand why she become like that, because
Yeah.
she
Right.
doesn't have someone to talk to, right? And
Yes.
also, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, she had friends, but it's different because it's different if compared to if you talk to your own children, right?
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, so every day I call my mom, even though sometimes my mom angry with me without any reason. But then I think that it's very important to support her, because even though she, how to say, even though she, uh yeah, she's sad, and she's angry with me even though without any reason, but I still thank her because she still take care of me and my sister, even though my father just abandoned us like that with that time, right? So every day I will remember what my mom already did to us. For example, like it's quite hard, to become a single mother and also need to provide all those what we call that, financial support by
Mm,
herself and all, right? And
mm,
yeah, that's why eventually my mom already become more stable, and also um yep, and yeah, the reason why I cannot meet my father is because my mom doesn't allow me to do it. Because their divorce is not really in a good, what we call it, not really in a good relationship, right? So I do
right.
respect my mom, and yeah, during last 2 years, I asked my mom for permission, whether I can meet my father or not, because yeah, I never know what will happen to him, right, during the surgery. So I took
Right.
care of him in the ICU and all. But yeah, for me, I think, yeah, even though it's a sad story, but for me, that is because of that experience, I become who I am today. Yeah, something like that.
Wow, that's amazing because a lot of uh, kids. I came from a broken home too. Okay, and
Mm,
kids coming from broken home. Some of them they can become two ways. Either they wise up or they f up. In I I
true.
would say that way. So why I say that, because and then those who wise up like you choose to see in a different way. For a lot of people, if some kids who are in your position, they will react differently. They
True.
probably
Indeed.
they probably be angry with their mother for being that way, would not understand. But you choose to be uh, wise about it, mature about it, and you understood where your mother needed the support that she needs. So not many kids at that age. You're 16, but 14, 15, 16 that time, huh?
16, yeah,
So
16.
yeah, 16, you would not have that kind of maturity or understanding to support your own parents during tough time. And I really commend you for doing that. Commend you. And
Thank
that
you.
you have that courage to you. And for some people, you know, they would have these abandoned issues, because of having a parent like you, a parent who did abandon you, but yet you came out stronger. Like some people, they don't. When they go through that, then they feel they will always fear that people will leave them. In that will affect their own relationship with other people. But
True.
you choose to overcome it at this age, and it's just amazing that you choose to still fine, ask permission for your
Yeah.
mom to connect to your dad. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
lucky actually. Before this, of course, I had the time where I was depressed that time. So I did not yeah, that was the first time I got D in my life. D for my biology from
all right.
80 plus, and then suddenly become only 30 plus. So my mom was so mad at me before because that
Mm,
was the worst academic result I got.
mm,
And that is the same time where both of them were divorced, right? So
right.
luckily, my mom had a friend. My mom asked her to talk to me, and then yeah, I think that was one of the best advice that I've ever get from an adult. So
Okay.
she said to me, "Are you if you yeah, I know you're a very smart girl, and also I think you have a very big, very bright future. So if you keep on thinking that, oh, this is also your problem, and you also keep on thinking about the negative side, then what if one day, okay, let's say if you keep on doing this,
Yeah.
you don't really study hard, and then you just maybe stop halfway, or maybe you hate your mom, hate your parents, and all because of that,
Mm,
and then let's say if one day they will leave you, for example, touch wood lah, she said, what will happen to you? Do you want to become just an ordinary person, or maybe even worse, maybe you went to jail or something because you want to rebel to your parents, right? So I
mm,
think you have a very good potential. She said to me like, I think I have a very good potential. If you want to rebel, rebel it in a positive way and prove to all those person that actually, even though you come from a broken family, that is not your problem, it's your parents problem. It's not your problem, you don't have any
mm,
problem. You just focus on the study. I know it will be hard, but yeah, that auntie also, she's a cancer survivor.
mm,
So I think I thought like, okay, my problem is the worst in the world. But then when I listen to her story, I feel vulnerable as well towards her,
right,
right? So
right.
that's where I feel like, okay, my the ujian, the test that Allah give to me is not that big if compared to her, because she lost her husband, she lost everything. She lost her children because of the cancer itself. So
Right.
so and also, but then that auntie also quite interesting, because even though she had all of this cancer story, she is one of the very successful businesswoman actually in
Mm,
Kuching. She has a lot of like a real estate asset and something. So yeah, basically that auntie doesn't really work. She just collect rental. Yeah, so
uh-huh.
I'm like, wow, okay. So that's where I started to do some reflection and start to study hard until I went to emergency hospital because
Oh,
yeah, I didn't sleep for 3 days just to study at maths.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
3 days.
Uh, and my mom that always push me, study hard, suddenly said to me, Ayu, you stop studying.
Wow. Three
because
days.
because I really want to prove that I can be the best of the best for this. If I because yeah I consist yeah I can say that I can consistently get a good result since my kindergarten. So I think that if I don't do my best right now, I will regret some one day in my life, right? Because
Mm.
I feel like the only yeah for me SPM is the only opportunity for you to get into a very good university in fast track, for example, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that's an amazing way because a lot like I said, kids who come from parents who are divorced, they have the tendency to blame their parents for this, or they blame the world, or blame God, or blame that. I know because I used to be that as well. I blame. I even blame God. Blah blah blah. So but I think then thank God that you have that support to let you see the alternative way, rebel in a positive way. I like that, rebel in a positive way. So I think that's and then I also went through, or at that same age with you, similar, that I realized, okay, then I rebel in a positive way, that menegakkan keadilan. I'm like that. Masa I macam tu. So yeah, I totally got you, where you're coming from, and it's really amazing that you realize at that time that you just need to focus. Yeah, there's some people who are until adulthood, around until the age now, they're still blaming the parents, still blaming for their failures in life
Mhm.
now. Their failures in life now, they say is the parents' fault. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. You still want to
True.
blame on what's going on, or how your parents were, how they raised. I mean, no. I think at the end, we take accountability of our own decision. You make your own decision, right? That
Yeah,
you make your own decision. Yeah. So okay, I just want to share some pictures. So you, after that, you got a good result for SPM, of course. So, and then, which university, and then what university did you go to?
Okay, so actually I already planned my not to say career. I already planned my study life actually, but then it
Right.
didn't it didn't become reality because I didn't get
Mm.
the scholarship. Oh, so this one is the picture when I was first day in my secondary school. As you can see my my face was very sad because I need to clean my own room, need to clean my own my own
This
clothes, and yeah, it was so tiring.
this is in the best dorm. Is this the best dorm?
Yeah, this was one of the yeah, this is the best dorm. So our room is was based on sport our sport house. It's like Harry Potter. If you guys watch Harry Potter, so I'm Gryffindor, red house. I think
Yeah.
Tunku Kursia also, right? They do something like
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So you
So
were saying. So you were saying just now, you already made your plan. What was your plan?
okay, so
Or life plan?
I studied French when I was in secondary school until so basically, in order for you to join any university in France, you need to at least know until at least have a certificate, B1 certificate. So basically, B1 you can speak fluently, you can answer them when they talk, and you can write. So, in order for you to pass the test, right, you need to debate with French guy. And also, out of
Mm.
60 students, yeah, among the students, out of 60 students, only 21 of us pass. It's not
Wow.
A, it's only pass. So that's why I
Yeah.
feel like because not to say I did well for the yeah, I can say I did well because I really work hard to
Yeah.
study, and it's quite difficult because you don't really practice the language in Malaysia, right? So
Right.
yeah, only me and my friends. His
Yeah.
name is Fabrizio Franco. So he's studying in France right now. So both of us took the exam and we did well. And then I
Mm.
thought like before this, all of the students that managed to pass DEF BA, they will go and get a scholarship from JPA. Then
Right.
suddenly, when my turn, I break the record. I was the
Uh,
first one who didn't get the scholarship. Even though my result is straight A, because that time I think JPA restrict like around only 300% to get the scholarship, and also they only want to take a student that come from like underprivileged family,
Yeah,
retired parents, something like
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
yeah, so I didn't get the chance. So that's why I cried and also end up studying in UM for my foundation.
Okay.
And I still remember during that time, I already prepared an Excel to do a personal shopper service. So that's where I learned all those Louis Vuitton, Yves Saint Laurent, and all brand and what kind of perfume, right? All those aunties, because I got the database, right? Because I friend with all
Okay.
those aunties. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you can explain to the audience why do you have this database of these things, and maybe let's go back to your. I think
Okay.
you when how do you get to this database of these aunties?
Okay, so during my secondary school, my mom had a business before. So the business already closed down right now. So we had a spa before, two branch actually. Um, so during that time, that's where I learned a lot about marketing. So my mom
Mm,
teach me that, okay, let's say if you see that auntie wear like LV or Gucci, then you know what kind of product and package you want to offer them, because yeah, it will be such a waste if you don't offer them the expensive one. And I
right.
really like when the auntie come in a group, because they want to show off, they want to flex with their friends. So of course they're gonna spend more. And I got 50% commission from all the things that I sell. So I think for my age, I have quite a lot of money actually. But then I feel like it I think that yeah, all the money I get, I feel like I get it from my own hard work, something like that. So I really appreciate each of them, every single penny that I got.
So what you do with the money that you earn at that age?
During that time, I most of them I buy food.
Okay.
Yeah, because and also um I started to do saving, and then after SPM, I use the money to do my own business and also join business seminar. Yeah.
Okay. What business seminar did you join? Just share with us.
Okay, but I the one that is cheap, then I will pay. But those that are very expensive, I will ask my sugar mommy to pay, which is my mom. Okay, so I already joined all. I'm not sure if you guys familiar with him. He's one of the he's like Anthony Robin in Malaysia, Dr. Azizan Osman. So
Yeah.
basically, he teach about business, personal branding, marketing. So actually, the funny thing about the event, right? They didn't allow people that is younger than 21 years old join their program actually. But then
Okay.
because my mom, I
Mm.
don't know what happened. Suddenly I managed to get the ticket.
You wanted to go or she wanted to go?
I said to my mom, I really want to go because I
Oh,
think that I
she
can
got it
learn
for
a
you.
lot. Yeah, I said, okay,
Yeah.
you really want to go, yeah? She said,
Uh,
yes.
uh,
Can you help me with that? So, and then then suddenly she called me, okay, you go. I already buy you ticket. You go to KL. And demand me to go to the event itself. Yeah.
okay. That's where you get to mix with all the others. And how much is this event again? Mm.
Um, for my case, I go for the cheaper package a bit if compared to my mom. But I think I shared some of the picture with you, Liz. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Let
So
me see.
the seat
This one,
position will be based on the ticket. Oh no, this one is
ah,
no, no, no. This one. This is one of
ah,
the. Okay, as you can see here, right? There's a thousand of people here. So your
mm,
seat will be based on what kind of package that you take. For example, like if you want to sit in front, exactly like the first two. As you can see, there's a two line there.
mm.
You need to pay. You need to pay around 70,000 for 1 year club membership.
Oh,
70,000. Yeah, and that was very cheap because they just started the package. Now, in order to join that, you need to pay, I think, around 120K each person.
wow.
Yeah, so yeah,
Anybody wants to do that?
my mom was very crazy that time. So
Mm,
because she want to jimat, so she didn't get that. She didn't get that package for me, so I sit at the back of that one.
yeah.
So each of the event cost around 5K to 7K. Yeah, it's quite expensive actually, but then my mom say that it's a good investment so that you can networking with these people and make sure before you before the event end, you need to know at least 10% in that event, and make sure that you exchange number with them, so that let's say if you want to ask them any advice, then you can just contact them directly. Yeah, something like that. And of course, my mom need to introduce them to my mom so that they can buy my mom's product.
So at a young age, you already learn how to network within the high net worth people and
Sure.
people who are
Yeah.
already been there, done that already. Yeah.
Yeah, and yep, in business we always have when we talk about product or something, we always say about unique selling point, right? So
Yeah.
everything that we sell, everything that we promote, we need to have the USP, unique selling
Right.
product.
Uh,
So my mom said to me, okay, you enter this event, highlight that you're young, because all of them will be interested to talk to you because you're the youngest in this event. So just imagine, I'm the only person. I joined that event when I was 18 years old after
mm,
SPM.
mm,
So when I said to them, "Oh, how old are you?" "Oh, I'm 18 years old. I just finished SPM." Serious lah. That's always their impression, because yeah, it's very expensive, right, to join this kind.
right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even some parents, even though they afford to pay, they don't. Their kids doesn't want to join because they don't really like that kind of stuff. But for me, I love to talk to people, and because I already used to it since I take care of the spa before,
Spa.
right? So most of my friends are my mom's age.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So that's why you're always advanced than most people, right? So tell us about this picture. What picture is? Where were you?
Oh, this
And
one is the next class actually. So
mm,
this I really love this car before,
mm,
but then after I learn about investment, after I learn about financial thingy, finance, right? So I just realized that buying a car is a liability. So I plan to buy my first five house first, then I buy yeah. And also I love Grab a lot. Because I feel
ah,
like when I stay in KL, I think
mm,
it's better for me to either use the public transport. I purposely rent house near LRT so that I can just use public transport
mm,
to save. And especially nowadays, you can just pay 30 ringgit for the whole month of transportation. And let's say if it's too far, then I just use my Grab, so I don't have to pay
yeah, ah,
for the what for the parking, for the insurance, for
yes,
the
yes,
what
yes.
service and all. And the good thing is that if you want to if you want to become cheapskate, you can use friendship as your transportation. So most of my friend, they have car, right? So I just tumpang them and just pay their fuel.
Oh, very clever. So you also learn on financial and all that. You took courses for
Yeah.
that as well.
I took minor in my degree actually, business
Mm,
management. So I learned economics, finance,
mm,
and I love to. Yeah, one of my weird hobby when I was doing my internship and after graduation, actually, I love to visit house gallery. I already visited almost like 100, almost 50 galleries actually. Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
So
just to
that
know how to and also try to see and want to see how the seller persuade me to buy the house, and then what is the process, because under construction house is different from sub sale house, right? Yeah,
Mm.
and I read a lot of real estate book as well.
Wow, very good. Hey, tell me about the story of when you do share the audience about the content when you were doing the is it creative writing,
Ah,
copywriting
yeah,
story? Yeah.
copywriting. Okay, so I joined this one of the seminars. It was Sifu FB ads. So basically, during that time, most of us we learn about Facebook ads. My mentor he teach a lot of celebrities, including Datuk Sri Vida and Nialofa and all. That's where I managed to get to know all of these famous people also and learn from them as well.
Mm.
Um, so during that time, I'm kind of as always, I'm the youngest inside as well.
Mhm. Yes,
So
yes.
most of them were aunties. They have a lot of money, so they want to learn, right? But then it's technical because for them it's quite complicated to catch all those IT knowledge very fast, right? So that's where I feel like okay, this is opportunity for me. I think this is a very good opportunity for me to provide them one-to-one teaching. So I approached all those aunties and I said, Auntie, if you don't understand what Sifu Jamal teach in front, I can give you one-to-one teaching. I just teach the same thing. But then they pay me per hour. So let's say if 1 hour, I charge around 200 to can go up to 500. It depends on my timing and also how rich that auntie is.
And I remember you mentioned to me that your mom paid for this event, this
Yep.
course, right?
Uh,
And that's how you pay her back, right?
Yeah, so during that time, the cost of the seminar was 16,000. So I did a loan with my mom and my stepdad. So yeah, that's how I managed to pay them back by selling, by providing the consultation, and also I do sell other people's product just to practice myself, just to give hand-on experience to the knowledge that I learned since it's expensive, right? And I also don't have my own business that time. Yeah, which is amazing because I think I made quite a lot of money that time. But then because I need to study, right? My priority is study, so I don't want to waste my money and also my mom's money just to pay for my tuition fee. Because I went to private university, right? So that's why I always prioritize my study first, then my business. Yeah.
Wow. So let me know. So I think that's why you become doing so well in LinkedIn right now because of all the knowledge that you gather since you were a kid, doing all the financial planning up to right now. Obviously, you and your mother especially has been pivotal in this I mean, to raise you to amazing young lady you are today. So maybe share with us, how did you have an idea? Okay, now you're in the university, right? So you're about to graduate. How did you get the idea of to apply for jobs 1 year before you graduate?
Okay. So actually because I really yeah, since kid, right, all of the Miri kids, they always most of their parents will force them to join oil and gas. Because
Wow.
in my place, if you join oil and gas, you're the best of the best kid that they can flex to their family, to their friends and all. They say, especially if you work in Petronas. I also don't know why. Because let's
Uh,
say, because I still remember that time I did my internship in ExxonMobil, right? And then
right.
because all the aunties, all the villagers from my mom's village, right, they don't really know what ExxonMobil is because we don't have the petrol station in Sarawak, right? So then,
Mm.
and then they ask, where are you work right now? Oh, are you work in ExxonMobil? Oh my God, so sad. What kind of company is that? Why Petronas doesn't want to take her?
Okay.
Because they don't know the other company. Yeah, Petronas is very famous, right, in
Right, right, yeah,
Sarawak. So
yeah,
yeah, so basically, after that, before one of the reason why I want to enter UTP is because I think if I enter Petronas University, of course, I have higher opportunity to get into the field that I
right,
want, which is oil and
yeah,
gas, right?
right.
Yeah. So I planned my resume actually. So I already did the draft so that I know, okay, I it's not enough for me to just excel in what we call that, academic, because I think in order for me to stand out, I need to be, not to say have talent for each of the, I think we need to be well rounded. So my university always encourage the students to become well rounded, so meaning to say that instead of just focusing on academic, you need to also be active in competition, do
Yeah,
events, show your
yeah,
leadership skills. So I already
right.
planned it. So basically, I did a table.
Mm,
The first one is academic participation, and then after
right.
that sport and cultural, something like that, and then the other one is leadership.
Right.
So everything that I join, I will categorize them so that in my resume it will looks perfect. So that's
Wow.
why, even though, yeah, that's why I think that's the reason why my, even though my resume looks simple, but then I managed to get a lot of offers from a very big companies. And I think during my internship also, I have a very good supervisor. So I told him that, okay, my supervisor asked me, are you okay, what is your first objective
Mm,
joining this company, and what can I do for to help you? And then
mm,
I straight away said to him, I want to do networking. And then
mm.
he was shocked because, wow, okay, usually the normal intern would say, oh, I want to learn this, I want to learn
The technical stuff.
experience,
Yeah, yeah.
how to be what we call that, how to familiarize themselves with industry,
Right.
environment and all, right? But for me,
Yeah.
I said to him, I want to do networking. I want at least 50% of this company know me before I chow.
Wow.
And
Wow, that's your
yeah,
aim. Amazing. Okay, and
because
then what you
I
do?
so
Uh, uh,
yeah, I luckily I have a very good boss that time, so he helped me to join all those voluntary activities, voluntary event, career fair for the company itself. So I know a lot of people, and I have this yeah, and I have a talent for video editing and also graphic
uh,
designing, right? So
uh,
I offer them free service. You know, in corporate, if you know how to do graphic designing and video editing, right, they will hunt you
wow. Okay, that's the
for
secret, huh? Yeah.
events and all. So
Yeah.
you will stand out from the other candidate, from the other interns, because I think intent is very important. One is because you have higher chance to join them after you grad, and also of course the person that you friend with in that company. For me, I think they're a role model for me because they already have what I want to have in the future. Because I really
Mm,
want to work in oil and gas, right? Yeah,
right.
something like that. So yeah, and most of the networking that I did is with my HR, because I joined quite a lot of like career fair and all. So I always ask them, okay, what are the tips? What are the tricks so that I can join oil and gas after I graduate? And then the
Yeah,
problem with my university, we need to study again for a year after the internship. Of course,
right,
after a year, just imagine. Of course, they will already forget some of us.
right, right, right,
So I need to do something so that they remember me, right?
right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why my friend said that, okay, are you, if you really want to join MNC, the first tip is to apply as early as possible. Ignore other person when they tell you, oh, apply after graduation. No, because most of MNC, they take quite a long time to process our, what we call that,
Application.
application. For example, like my company right now, in order for me to get into my own role right now, I need to wait for 6 months because of
Oh,
the process itself. And I also got interview offer from Google, Japan. Yeah, I got position for software engineer 2022. So let's say if I still in the process, yeah, I'm still unemployed now, right?
you mean,
So
you mean if you accept, you cannot work with anybody else except with Google?
no, I mean, of course, you can work with others, but then just in case, right? If I think it's better to just for me, because I don't really, my aim is to go for oil and gas. So
Yes, yeah.
when I have Google, I feel like okay, maybe it's just a backup plan. But then I feel like, oh, and when I discussed with my parents, my mom didn't allow me to go to Japan because he said later got earthquake. Said later got earthquake. Then how am I going to save you? It's very far, you know.
So what I heard from your other that you mentioned before, you actually applied for 200 applications, and
Mm,
then after that
true.
you got 80.
14 offers.
Yeah, but before that it was
Yeah,
80,
yeah, yeah.
80,
80.
80
Uh-uh.
response, and then you get 24,
20
uh, 24 interviews, and then you
mm,
get 14 job offers,
offers. Yeah, job offers.
right?
That one was 1 year, one semester in advance before I graduated. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Hi, Yogesh, and Yogesh is
Hi,
tuning in
Yogesh.
from India, and Zeph is tuning in. My friend, and she is all the way from America. So thank you for
Oh,
joining us. Yeah, so
hello.
you guys got to meet this girl. She's really, really amazing. She got, yeah, all this you done 1 year. You started planning, and then
Mm.
run up to just before you graduated, you got 14 offers. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I choose the first offer, which is working in DHL, because the notice period is 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
To
1 week
accept.
only. Yeah,
To accept.
because yeah, DHL is a very good company to work with. I agree with that. I approve that company, but then because my dream is to work in oil and gas, right? So when
Uh,
I get when I got the offer from my current company, I feel like, oh my God, Allah really loved me that time because it was
Alhamdulillah.
during pandemic, right? And
Mm.
also like oil and gas was not doing well. But for me
Yeah.
myself, because I always believe that oil and gas is like the main business for the country. So they will do something with it eventually. Maybe they change business or something. But yeah, I think yeah, it's a good company to work with.
Awesome. So okay, so now after that, you work for people. You even helped graduates to get employed during the pandemic. How did you do that?
Okay, so after graduation, I met my lecturer because I'm quite close to some of my lecturers, right? So I asked them like, "Oh, sir, I think I already have first class degree, which is amazing. I already have my dream job. So what should I do now? I don't want just like work and work and work and didn't do nothing, right? I feel like I can contribute something to the community, or maybe just join more competition or something." And then my lecturer
Right.
said, okay, I think maybe you can help some of our students that haven't get a job yet. Since because it's pandemic, I think still remember for our university, actually our employment rate is very very high. Actually, because one of the reason I think the company really love our internship. My internship was 8 months, so we learned a
Mm.
lot. So instead
Right.
of like getting a fresh grad that have a shorter intern, they can just find interns that find a student from our uni that already have a little bit extra experience in the company itself, so they don't have to like teach them again from start. At least they have a little
Right.
bit of idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after that, okay, I said to my lecturer, okay, maybe I can try. And then suddenly he said that, oh, Ayu, maybe you can try do LinkedIn because all of the job hunters are there, and then you can see now what your friends and all post. And also, I think you need to start LinkedIn because you already work. You
Yeah.
cannot play around anymore. He said like that. So LinkedIn is needed in order for you to grow in your career. Okay. So I follow what my lecturer said because I'm a good student, right? So
Right.
yeah, so I opened my LinkedIn. That time was May 20, I think June 2021. I opened, and then my most of my friend they post about their final year, final semester result. So they
Mm.
get like 20 to 30 likes. I was like, wow, that's amazing. For a nerd like me to get 30 likes is like, wow. So because I'm a marketing person also, right? So I don't want to become the same like them. So instead of posting one result, I post my whole semester result, my whole year result. So in my uni, we have three semester in a year.
Mm.
So I shared because most the consecutive three I got 3.9 for every consecutive semester,
Semester.
right?
Mm.
So it went
Mm.
viral. So my first post I already got like around 600 plus likes.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went back to my lecturer and I said to him like, "Sir, I already become LinkedIn famous." And then I said, "What should I do now? I'm famous already. How what to do? What to do?" And then he just laughed and then he said, "Maybe you can share your resume or something so that people can also follow the template or something like that." And I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's a good idea." And my friend also keep asking me like, "Are you share your resume? Because I think your resume can also help me to get a job. If you can get a job by using that resume, why not
Okay.
me?" Right? They said like that. So I end up sharing my resume to LinkedIn. So that was actually my first post, my first viral post. So I got like 3,000 likes and also almost 200,000 views. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
200,000. Hey, LinkedIn. Everybody, can you hear that? My view also the maximum also 30,000. Average maybe less than 100.
Yeah. So I got like
Oh,
200,000 views that time, and yeah, since then, and then because of that resume, also I helped quite a lot of fresh grad get a job because of the because some of the fresh grad, right, some of them they think that okay, in order for you to have a good resume you need to have a very good design, put a lot of colors, like what we call it, like Canva kind of design like that. But actually
yeah.
no, because nowadays, especially when you apply to a big companies, you need to provide them an application tracking system friendly resume. What does it mean by that? Okay, for example, if we have one position, there impossible that there's only one person applying for it, especially when it comes from a big companies, right? There will be thousands of applicants. So the first thing that we need to go through will be the system itself. So let's say if you always put the graphic, then the system cannot detect your keywords and all. That's why sometimes the students are very smart, but then they cannot get the job because the system remove them from being filtered by the real human first. Yeah.
Oh, so the secret is to always make it simple so that the system can detect the keyword.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, true. And also need to use the right keyword and what are the things that we should put first, and then what are the things that we should put later, because uh, people don't really read resume, they always scan the resume. So scanning and reading is
Mm.
not the same. So how we arrange the data would be different, something like that. So yeah, that's where I started to share more. I started to challenge myself to post every day on LinkedIn, and then eventually, yeah, that's how I got the momentum lah.
This
Until
this is
today.
not this is not just a normal resume, writing. This is like resume strategy. You know.
Yeah, resume
Yeah.
strategy, and also I do share. I think it's important to be real, to be authentic, because I think most of the students they are afraid to share about their failure. Like for myself, they don't want to show their vulnerability to other people. For example, my parents are
Right.
divorced. For others, maybe it's very sensitive. But for me myself, I not to say I'm proud about it, but then I feel
It's just
like
a
because
fact.
of
It's
that,
just a fact.
eh,
Yeah.
yeah, because of that, I become who I am today, and I think
Yeah.
I'm stronger than those who didn't face that kind of situation, right?
Right.
And yeah, I think yeah, I fail a lot during my interview as well, because like what I said, I applied for a year before, but then there was the reason, so that I have the time to learn, I have the time to make mistake, and then from there I keep on improving and improving until I get my dream job right now.
Yeah.
Something like that. True.
But I think whatever you're doing now, it's not just applicable to getting your dream job or what. I think
True.
it's applicable in everything in our life.
True.
Yeah. It's a process that we go through
Yeah.
through our failures that we learn and we improve better. Yeah. And
Exactly.
okay, that's really amazing what are you are sharing today. You're 24 years old, but you have your today sharing alone. I learn a lot from you too. Yeah. So I mean, I believe that for us to learn from someone, it doesn't have to be the age does not matter. It's the experience of that person, whatever that go through. And for you, you have really make effort. You really differentiate yourself to others. Maybe what are the so for the audience, whoever you're listening, tell us what are takeaways that you have when you listen to Ayu's story. And Ayu, before we end, maybe you can share with us what are your last message to those millennials that you are, you know, that those out there. Uh, what what do you think? What are the message for you for them to be the best of version of themselves? You know, what
Okay.
is yeah? What is your last message for them?
I would
Oh,
say,
not
okay.
just for the millennials, even everybody, adults, yeah, any adults,
All right.
anyone. Yes, yeah, your message, yeah.
Okay, so I think the most important thing, if you, especially if you want to stand out on LinkedIn, especially try to be authentic, because we connecting with people. We don't want to connect with robots, right? So people, we do make mistake. We're not perfect. So sharing your authentic story, sharing your failure, it makes you stand out from the others, because they are some most of them, they don't really share that kind of story, right? And people
Mm.
can relate with it, because they also experience it, and maybe nobody want to open up before. That's why we need to start to promote authenticity, and also try to consistently be different from the others. So let's say if people do A, you do A and B. Yeah, for me,
Uh-huh.
if people ask me, okay, Ayu, you want to be rich ke you want to be smart? For me, there's no such thing, or there's no such thing as you need to choose either one. You can become both. So we can
Mm,
go for and instead of or. So you can
yeah.
become smart and rich at the same time. So why you need to choose one, right? If you can choose both of them, something like that. Yeah, I think, and also of course, make sure that we always take care of our circle. My mentor always said to me that if you want to see what's your net worth, you list down 5% that always be with you, always, the one that you always talk with, and then find the average of their income. That is your income as well. So let's say,
Aduh,
yeah,
ah, five people and
ah,
find out what's the
five
average
people.
income. Okay. Okay. All right.
So if you feel like, oh, you need to improve, let's say you already get the average, and then you feel like, okay, this is too low, then you need to find a new friend. Not to say to move the friend, but then try to find those who are closer to you that has better, what we call it, better fluence, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's very important to that is a very important note. What people don't
True,
realize is that since young, especially with from young, yeah, children, from you know how we grow up. I think who we surround ourselves and what kind of environment will shape us. You know, even now,
exactly.
you
True,
know where if you want you have a certain goal, where you want to go, you need to know who can support you to get there, right?
true.
Well, who your circle around you? Your net worth is actually a circle around you. Actually, the
Yeah.
circle that you have, your net worth. Yeah, is but then I will have to count later. Okay, who's my net?
Yes.
Thank you for that tips. Yeah, you thank you so much. for joining us today. I know you have to go by 11. I'm sorry we overshot by 15 minutes.
It's okay.
So I hope everybody enjoyed watching us today. Thank you again for joining us tonight. And hope to see you guys again tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Dr. Nina Hafiz on the mental health series. Okay. And good night, everyone. Hi, Shireen.
Hi,
Shireen
Sherry.
again. Shireen again. Thank you so much again for joining us. And if you didn't get to watch the earlier part, what Ayu story is, please replay it. You can replay it in LinkedIn everywhere and YouTube. Yeah, just like my YouTube. My YouTube pun tak ramai orang. That one is just for those who don't have LinkedIn or Facebook. But
Oh.
yeah, so I don't. So so just follow my LinkedIn in Liz Butcher and Here to Help in Facebook. And thank you again for joining us and see you again next week on Friday night with Mama Liz behind closed door. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe.